We all learn about the five senses, right? Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. But what if I told you that's like just the first few letters of a giant alphabet? Life out there perceives the world in ways that are so much richer and frankly weirder than we can even imagine. I mean, take this star-nosed mole. For this little guy, reality isn't about what it sees. Nope, it's all about what it feels through these 22 wild, fleshy tentacles on its face. And believe me, that is just the beginning.
So let's just dive right in with a wild question to get us started. Forget about sight or sound for a minute. Can an animal actually hunt using electricity? I know, it sounds like a superpower from a comic book, right? But is it real? Oh, yeah. The answer is a huge yes. And the master of this is the hammerhead shark. When you see it sweeping that crazy-looking head across the ocean floor, it's not just looking around. It's listening with electricity. See, every time a little fish hiding in the sand twitches a muscle, it gives off this tiny electrical buzz. And the hammerhead? It picks that right up. It can find prey that is completely buried and invisible. It's just an unbelievable sense, baked right into its biology. Okay, so how is any of this even possible? How can a snake see heat and a shark feel electricity? Well, it turns out all these different senses, no matter how strange they seem to us, are all built from the same basic toolkit. There's this universal language that life uses to make sense of the world. So it really boils down to two main ways life can sense things. On one hand, you've got the direct approach. The cell that feels the thing is the neuron that sends the message. Think about a touch receptor in your skin. Bam, one step. Simple, right? But then there's the other way, which is more like a relay race. You've got a special sensory cell, like the tiny hairs in your ear that pick up sound waves. It grabs the sensation and then passes it off to a neuron, which then runs it all the way to the brain. Whether it's a direct sprint or a relay, the goal is the same. Get that information to headquarters. Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. It's the key to everything. No matter what the sense is, light, sound, electricity, whatever, it has to be translated into a language the brain can actually understand. And that language is the action potential. It really is like biological Morse code. Every single sensation gets converted into the exact same type of electrical pulse. It's the universal currency of your entire nervous system. Everything speaks action potential. So you might be thinking, wait, if every signal is the same, how does my brain know if something is a light tap or a hard shove? Great question. It all comes down to frequency, how fast the signals are coming in. A gentle touch is like a slow, quiet beep, 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 but a hard push, that makes the neuron fire like crazy. Beep, 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 beep. It's basically shouting at the brain. The more signals per second, the stronger the sensation. It's such a simple and elegant system, isn't it? All right, so we've got our basic toolkit, right? Receptors grab information and turn it into these action potentials. Now for the fun part. Let's see the absolutely mind-blowing things nature has built using this simple system. We're about to go on a whirlwind tour of some of nature's secret senses. And this whole electricity thing, it's not just for big predators. It can be super subtle. Get this, a bee flying through the air builds up a little bit of static electricity. When it lands on a flower, it leaves behind a tiny electrical footprint. The next bee that flies by can actually sense that change in the flower's electric field. It tells them, hey, somebody just took all the nectar here, move along. It's like a tiny sorry we're closed sign. Just amazing. Okay, from a tiny flower to the entire planet, let's talk about magnetosensing. So many animals are tuned into something we're completely oblivious to, the Earth's magnetic field. For migrating birds or sea turtles, it's a built-in compass, a natural GPS that guides them for thousands of miles. But it's not just for epic journeys. Even a teeny tiny worm wiggling in the dirt can use that magnetic field just to figure out which way is up. And what about sensitivity? I mean, how fine-tuned can these senses get? Well, we think we have a decent sense of smell, but that's nothing compared to the male silkworm moth. Its antennae are so incredibly sensitive, it can pick up the trail of a single molecule of a female's pheromone floating in the air and follow it. One molecule. That is just an insane level of chemical detection. And for our last stop on this tour, a different kind of sight. Pit vipers. They can hunt in what we would call total darkness. But for them, it's not dark. Why? They have these special pit organs right under their eyes that can see infrared radiation. They literally see heat. So a warm little mouse in the dead of night, to the viper, it's glowing like a neon sign against the cool, dark background. It's like they have built-in thermal vision. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, sharks and moths and snakes, that's all cool, but what does it have to do with me? Well, here's the twist. That exact same fundamental toolkit, it's running inside your body right this very second, and it's the only reason you're alive. Seriously, without you having to do a thing, your body is this incredible symphony of secret senses. Right now, cells in your pancreas are sensing your blood sugar. Your brain is sensing CO2 levels to make sure you keep breathing. Your kidneys are checking the salt balance in your blood. Your immune system is constantly on patrol, sensing for invaders. We talk about the big five senses, but honestly, these internal ones are probably the most important senses you have. Let's just take one of those as an example. Temperature. How do you actually know that your coffee is hot or your drink is cold? It all comes down to these tiny proteins in your nerve cells called TRP channels. You can just think of them as microscopic little thermometers. So here's where it gets super interesting. These TRP channels, they're like little locks, and they can be opened by different keys. So yeah, temperature is one key, but so are certain chemicals. Think about mint. The chemical that makes it minty, menthol, just happens to be the perfect shape to fit into the lock on your cold sensors. It tricks them into opening, and your brain gets a signal that says cold. The exact same thing happens with chili peppers, but in reverse. The chemical capsaicin fits the key for your heat sensors, and bam, your brain gets a hot signal. And this is the mind-blowing part. It is not an illusion. It's not in your head. Your tongue isn't just thinking it's cold. As far as your nervous system is concerned, it is cold. Those sensors have been chemically flipped on, and they are sending a real, 100% authentic cold signal to your brain. The signal itself is absolutely real. So where does this all leave us? After this whole journey from electric sharks all the way to chili peppers, what's the big takeaway? Well, it kind of forces us to rethink what reality even means. And it makes you ask a pretty profound question. What else are we not seeing? Here's the bottom line. Sensing isn't just a list of 5 things we can do. It's much bigger than that. It's the fundamental job of biology, to convert the physical, chemical world out there into information. Light waves, magnetic fields, molecules, it's all just raw data. Our 5 senses, they're just the specific set of data converters that we humans happen to have. I mean, look at this. It really puts our human experience in perspective. The slice of reality we can perceive is just tiny. A little sliver of light, a small range of sound, the rest of the animal kingdom is tapping into this much wider band, sensing things like UV light, electricity, magnetism, and then there's that last bar, the great unknown. What other information is flying around us right now that no life on Earth has yet evolved to detect? And here's another thing. Even when we share a sense with another animal, our reality can be totally different. Take vision. You and I watch a movie, and our brains connect the dots, we see smooth, continuous motion. But a dragonfly, its eyes and brain process information so incredibly fast that if it watched that same movie, it wouldn't see motion at all. It would see a flickering, chaotic slideshow of individual pictures. Our reality is literally a product of our own biological hardware. So, I'll just leave you with this to think about. Right now, all around you, there are entire worlds of information you're completely blind to. Invisible fields of electricity and magnetism, chemical conversations happening on the breeze. So if a bee can literally see the electric charge on a flower and a bird can see the Earth's magnetic field as a map, what fundamental parts of reality are passing right through you at this very moment completely unnoticed? What are we all missing?